Systems initiated. Nerd Rage Renegades episode 154 loading. What the hell do Smurfs, William Shatner and giant shanks of meat have to do with anything?
Nerd Rage Renegades.
Ladies and gentlemen, yes, welcome back to the Nerd Rage Renegades podcast. We are back, we are here, and we're going to be talking about God knows what.
Do you guys have even the slightest idea what you are talking about tonight?
What? We have no plans. We have nothing planned tonight. So, nothing really too much. I mean, everybody's talking about stuff in the news. Everybody wants to talk about the news and what's going on, and what's new and what's hip, and oh, Affleck's out of Batman again. Oh, God. Affleck's out of Batman.
I like Affleck Batman. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh God, the rumor mill is just going crazy. Jeez. But you know what? Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and get our Grand Theft Auto roleplay recaps out of the way. Last week, of course, there wasn't too much going on. A lot of
it was a lot of Ark playing.
Ark came out last week. They finally released Ark for Steam and everything last week. And the bad thing, I was watching, a coworker of mine played the beta, and he was like, "Oh man, you got to get on Ark. You got to get on Ark. It's so good. You got to play Ark. You got to play Ark." And I watched people playing Ark, and I'm like, this game looks like it's not even finished. It's glitchy, And he tried to tell, like there was one I was watching them. They're in their hut. They're in this hut, and like the dinosaurs' heads that are in this world just come right through the hut, like go through the graphics and are in the hut. And I'm like, this. You shouldn't be able to do that. And my coworker's like, oh, well, they're trying to tell you, if it goes through the hut like that, it's you play it like this. I'm like, I don't want to play it like that. It shouldn't be going through their heads should not be going through the goddamn hut.
Right? Make a quality product. Don't make me imagine shit, motherfucker. Yeah. It's a video game.
So a lot of the people that we usually watch on Twitch, because they're Twitch partners, and Ark just came out. Were playing. It was promoted, and they were playing Ark. I understand it, completely understand it, because if you're gonna get paid for it, go ahead, do it.
Djibouti was the only one going GTA. I think.
There was quite
a couple guys. So Jimmy was like the old servers. A lot of people were still at.
Yeah. So last week Djibouti, like I said, Disby was on Ark, Classy was on Ark. Djibouti was on the Real Los Santos servers, which are Jam Jar servers, with two new characters. The first one is the reincarnation of one of Chief and I's old favorites, Joe Mullet.
Mojo Grimes.
That's right, Mojo Grimes, doing most
Don't
stuff.
Tell me what to do.
Doing most stuff. I served, Chief. You can't tell me what to do. I served.
Oh man, my favorite part of that. I can't catch the end of it because YouTube, for some reason, I was gonna watch it. I'm gonna have to go to Twitch and watch it because YouTube, for some reason, will not let me fast forward to the point where I left off. Yeah. And instead of going back to where I was in the video and keeping it there, I can't go back to my history and start it where I was because it's already gone back to the beginning of the video, and it won't let me fast forward to the point where I need, because there's commercials or whatever, but it won't let me. It's
commercials, when I try to do that, it loads and loads and loads and loads, and then it doesn't do anything. And
yeah, I don't have to, on Twitch. I don't have to worry about that. I could just go and watch it on Twitch. So I'm gonna have to. But I saw a lot of it, and my favorite thing. First of all, I like Metal Gear Mo, and I also, because I like that the voice, he's the only one, because they've done it with a couple of the characters, But Mo's the only one that tells the voice to don't tell him what to do.
I know the drill.
Don't tell me what to do.
This ain't my first rodeo.
So I like that, and I also like when he stole the car from the game show lady, and he just said, "Well, this looks like about $5,000. Looks like I win, boys." Just drove off.
Mo Grimes, he's a con artist. He's a con man, and he's the same way Joe Mullet was a con man. But Mo's older. He's a little more seasoned.
He's a war vet, but we don't know if he's an actual war vet or if he's just stolen valor.
He showed up the last day of the Vietnam War. He showed up on the last day.
Twisted his ankle on the last day.
Twisted his ankle on the last day. Like, well, we're going home. He got there as Saigon fell. So
yeah, he got off the helicopter and got right back on.
Pretty much.
He twisted his ankle getting off the helicopter, and they had to put him right back on.
Yeah, I got the Purple Heart. But he. This is the character. So like a lot, like this character Djibouti doesn't matter. He'll steal cars. He steals like 5 or 6 cars during that stream.
Yeah, I think he steals 3 of them in like the first 3 minutes. Like he steals one and then he wrecks it and he steals. Wait, am I thinking of? I'm thinking of Carlos. I think steals like 3 cars.
Carlos,
but no, Joe.
Too.
Yeah, Joe or Mo Joe Grimes. Nonchalantly steals cars. Like he doesn't even. It's not like he doesn't even sneak. He just walks up and smashes the window out, and just gets in it and drives away. Like with the food delivery truck when they called for the game show. He's like, "Well, looks like it's time to go," and he just jumped up on the truck and smashed the window out and drove off in a giant truck. I was like, that's like he gives no fucks. Like Mo gives no fucks about the law.
Oh, and Teppy playing along with the whole thing with Mo. Teppy was just so good as that's
Leonard. The part I missed where he met up with him, but I did see the stunt at the end because I watched the stunt live. I turned it on to see if they were over, if it had archived yet.
Right.
And so I watched the beginning, but I turned it on and caught the end of it live where he had just smashed into the light pole and was dead, and Mo was walking over, and the cops rolled up on Mo and tried to get him for murder.
And he got off scot-free too. He got off scot-free because they were like, because he had a gun out because he had shot the ramp. He had laid down gasoline on the ramp, and I guess when you lay down the gasoline, it notifies the cops. And he shot the gasoline so it was on fire, so Teppy would jump off like a flaming ramp, and the girl that was supposed to be watching just disappeared. She like left, and of course Mo doesn't care. He already got her money, so he was like, "Oh, whatever, I got your money." But he had his gun out, or that thing's shots fired. That's what it was. Shots fired. They got notified that shots were fired.
Oh yeah.
And they roll up, and they were like trying to get him that he shot Teppy, and of course Teppy puts in there, he's got burns and broken ribs, but he goes, but no bullet holes. So they're like, oh well, I guess it's, you didn't shoot him. But then the cop comes up, he's like, well, sir, we got to talk about this stolen car over here. And Mo's like, man, what are you talking about? That ain't my car. I came here on his bike. He gave me a ride on his goddamn bike.
I just came from up there.
And they're like, the cop's like, well, you just told us you drove up here. And he's like, no, I didn't. I said I walked over. And
he said somebody in the chat told him the cops will lie. Yeah. They will say you said stuff that you didn't say to try to get you, and they almost got him.
But they didn't, and he got away scot-free. And that's the thing, both the characters, Mo and Carlos Castillo.
I like the narration they do for Carlos too. They had like it's like telling an old Western story. Like
Carlos Castillo escapes once again.
Carlos finally bit off more than he could chew.
So Mo got.
Oh my God, that shootout is the greatest thing.
It was like a 20-minute shootout.
Yeah, and they were just shooting Carlos's dead body for a good 15 of it.
The next character they did on Wednesday night, they didn't stream Thursday because they were going to PAX West, but on Wednesday night they had Carlos Castillo, who is their Cholo.
I did get to see all of that one. That one was good.
That's their Cholo character. Just a big fat wannabe Hispanic gangster.
He's great though. Well, I'll tell you, I knew some guys kind of like him, but some of those guys I knew were like real gangsters. They were probably involved in some dirty shit. But I mean, yeah, he reminds me of a couple of guys I knew, like to a T, like the way mainly just the way he talks. It's really funny. He just nails that character perfect.
Definitely perfect. So, but he takes Walter, which is a learns to swim on Twitch. Walter's a character that's been around for a while with Djibouti streams when they play on Jam Jar's server. And you don't like this, got got that sling blade thing going on. His character model is in like a Speedo and like a vest, and he's like a daredevil. So
he's aerodynamic.
He hooks up with Carlos and is involved in Carlos's antics, and is involved when they go down to the Hispanic gang section of town.
Yeah, and they try to join, and they get shot like 1,000 times.
20 minutes, and then the cop shows up, and the cop gets gunned down. After he revives Carlos, they start shooting at the cop.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of that. In that span of time, when he goes to get the gun and save him, he steals like 3 cars.
One of them being Tepe's car. One of them being Tepe's car for Tepe's other new character.
Yeah.
And he goes back. Here's what's funny is they go back, and more cops have showed up. And he looks at Walter and goes, Walter, man, where's your car? Let's go get your car. Let's go get your car. And so Walter's like, all right, let's go get my car. Well, the car's back where they were just shot 50 million times.
The cop even told him, like, hey, you don't want to go back there. It's like, wait, let's go get it.
So they go and get it, but one of the tires has been shot out, so they're driving around on like 3 tires. It's just sparking. They go to the strip club, the Vanilla Unicorn, because Carlos, you want to see some ditties, man. Carlos wants to see some ditties, but there were no ditties at the ditty bar, man. Well, they come out, and Tepe is getting arrested because he had to drive the stolen car that Carlos had driven to get to the gun store, and then Carlos at the gun store left the stolen car and stole Tepe's car, so Tepe started driving the stolen car. He got pulled over by the cops and arrested for Grand Theft Auto, and he tried to pin it on Carlos, but Carlos is like, look, I've been with Walter this whole time, and the cop's like, yeah, he was with Walter, and Walter's like, yeah, he was with me. So Tepe ends up going to prison, and then they get in Walter's car and drive away, and he goes, Walter, man, I gotta tell you something. I did steal that fucker's car, man.
I did. He's like that guy. He said something about the guy. He said something about the guy being mad. I thought he said he was gonna be mad. He's like, "What?" He's like, I did steal his car. I did steal it." Then he parked it right down there where he like drove it up to the shooting too, and it was right down there too somewhere.
Yeah.
Unless it was destroyed, like it respawned somewhere or something.
That's so great, though. So we're hoping to get more this week of the 4-win saga with Jerry Curl. Hopefully, maybe some more Chang.
Because Chang's got pocket taco.
Yeah, Chang's got unfinished business. He's still got to do with Abdur.
Yeah, that's right. They got right in the heat of these storylines, right when PAX came along, and everybody had shit to do. So
when PAX came along, and then everybody left for. Well, you had the VoIP issues on the server, then Arc came out, and then there's PAX. I mean, it was just a big thing all at once.
Yeah. So hopefully this week, tomorrow night. For when we're recording this, we're actually recording this Monday, so it'll be Tuesday. If you want to watch Djibouti live on Twitch or any of the streams we talked about, Classy or they should all be on too, I would think.
Yep.
But remember Twitch. Twitch is where to be on Tuesday night.
Yep. And, of course, I am wearing the Jerry Curl Live at the Maze Bank Arena t-shirt. Hopefully Chiefs will be at his house tomorrow because, today's a holiday. Yeah.
It was in Rockford Saturday, and we got the message. And then, of course, Sunday they don't deliver mail, and then Monday's the holiday. So mine should be here tomorrow.
Las Vegas.
What's the actual name of the guy? I can't remember what the name. It's like Vorgus or something.
Something like that. I don't know.
Las Vegas.
So that's the GTA goings-ons in the world.
Waiting in anticipation for some really awesome shit this week. That's Last week, you didn't miss much as far as the 4 wins go, but this week be sure to tune in if you're a fan.